Hey y'all, welcome back to my kitchen. We are going to start tonight with our Argentinian steak flautas from Home Chef. I'm getting a late start because I had an emergency at work, but let's hop to it. The only extra thing we're using that we haven't been using all week is a mixing bowl, so I'll have that out as well. And I also have our ingredients here that I'm gonna get unpacked. All right, so I got everything unpacked. We have tortillas, we have our beef that we're going to get sliced. It says it's sliced already. That would be great if so. Then we have some mozzarella, a dollop of daisy, guacamole, a shallot, a Roma tomato, and we have some chimichurri sauce, which I absolutely love. Let's get started. All right, so first the recipe wants us to core the tomato and cut it. We're gonna dice it into quarters, and then we're going to peel and halve the shallot. So I need to accomplish this situation. Pray for me. Then we'll separate the steak strips. I'll be back. So here's our tomato, and we have to core it. Now, what they tell you is you can take a knife and just take your knife and go around this part here all the way through, and you can pull the core straight out. But I'm actually gonna use an apple core. It works faster, it's neater, and I pay for it, so why not? See, just like that, nice and neat. So now I'll cut it in quarters, and then I'll cut it halfway here as well. And then I'm gonna cheat, and I'm going to use my slap chop to get this all chopped up nice and well. Make sure you rinse your veggies, y'all. Please do that. Thank you. All right, y'all, don't judge my slap chop. It has been around for a while, but it does the trick, never fails. Just get that done. It's a little messy. We're getting it. Okay, so perhaps I got a little too excited and I kind of just like made tomato sauce with this. So I'm gonna pull this to the side, and I just happen to have another Roma tomato in the fridge. I'm gonna cut it up properly as the directions say. And there's your proper chop. Ooh, that's a tongue twister. Can you say proper chop 5 times really fast? Like proper chop, proper chop, proper chop, proper. Okay, well, it's not that challenging. Whatever. Next. All right, so onto the shallot. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm just gonna try to make it look like the picture. Let's see what happens. All right, not too shabby, I must say. It almost looks just like the picture. Okay, no, it don't. But I think I did all right. So now we're going to separate the steak strips into a single layer and pat dry. So let me grab some paper towels. And we'll get... Okay, so I got this out the package, but before I really get to it, because I'm gonna have to touch this and then I have to wash my hands and everything, we have to pat it dry. And they don't tell you this in the Home Chef, but I think I read it in Julia Child's cookbook that if you don't dry the meat, it won't brown or something like that. I believe that's correct. And it was her beef bourguignon recipe. So we're gonna be like Julia, and we are going to spread this out, pat it dry, and then get ready to make that filling for our flautas. Okay, so I got that done. For this, I recommend you use some gloves, so you're not washing your hands a million times. But I didn't have any, so I had to wash my hands a few times during this, and I just have to wash them again. And after we get this into the skillet, I'm gonna have to wash them again. But all in the name of no food contamination and no food poisoning. Okay, y'all, it's time to cook that filling, which means we need to go ahead and get the steak strips in the hot pan with some olive oil. That's in the recipe. It's not just me being me. Again, I'm using my IKEA 365 Plus skillet, which I absolutely love. Olive oil, steak strips, and shallots. Let's do it. All right, so we got everybody in the pot. I suggest stirring this right away. Oh, did you see him? Where are you going? Down the garbage disposal today. Okay. I suggest you get in here and stir it right away because these will stick to each other. As you can see, it's happening right here. Now it says to cook this until no pink remains on the steak and the shallot's tender, so 35 minutes. All right, let's keep cooking. As you can see, this is almost done here. If anybody else is cooking this particular meal from Home Chef, do not dump your clumped steak in there together. You will have a time trying to pull it apart like I've been doing for the past 5 minutes. All right, don't do that. And my apologies, y'all. I know better than to use a porous wooden spoon when I'm cooking raw meat. So I went ahead and switched this up since it was towards the end, and we are in the safe zone for the beef. And we are going to go ahead and start adding the tomato and and some water and some salt and some pepper. So let's get that going. All right, so now we're gonna add those tomatoes. And I'll just bunch them over here so I can see everything going in and you can see everything that goes in. We're going to add a tablespoon of water, but I added just a little bit more because you know sometimes I cook things too long. So we want to have that. We want some salt, okay, and it wants some pepper, okay. I'll put a little more pepper because that's what I do. A little more salt. All right, so we're gonna stir all this together, and it says to stir it until it starts to thicken. And I'm like, I don't see any sauce in here, but it says until the liquid thickens, so we can at least do that. So we're gonna do that, and yes, I added a little more seasoning than what it calls for, but there was one of these chefs, but he said that people have the tendency to under-season their food, and I believe that, and that's why I do what I do. Speaking of under-seasoning, let me go ahead and add that good old garlic powder I like to put in everything. All right, I think that's good. So next we are going to go ahead and pour it in our little chimichurri packet. It only needs to be in there for about a minute. So let's do that next. Okay, I got that in there. We don't want to cook it too long, just enough to warm it up. But let's make sure we coat everything in it, because that is going to be delicious. All right, so I moved back to the other cabinet, and because we're gonna need some space. I bought the cutting board, I bought our yummy meat, and then we have our tortillas and our cheese. We're actually gonna go ahead and assemble the flautas now. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so we're putting the cheese on one half of the tortilla. We're gonna do that for all 6 tortillas, just like that. So, and I split all the cheese up, and don't be afraid if you gave more love to one tortilla than the other. And yes, I said love because cheese is love. And it'll all melt together anyway. So now we're going to pull the steak and put the steak on top of where the cheese is. Just like that. So we're all good and we're ready to go. We're gonna get these rolled up. And you're just gonna roll them like a little burrito. You'll tuck here on the meat side and then just roll to the dry side. And then we're gonna get them in the skillet. Make sure when you're rolling them to leave them flap down. Just like that, we got them all rolled up. And now it's time to return them to the skillet, all right? Now, I didn't say to rinse the skillet, so I didn't rinse it. I figured that's extra seasoning, but we're gonna go ahead and add that extra teaspoon of olive oil so we can get these going in that hot pan. Seam side down. All right, so we got a little bit of a sizzle going there from some of the seasoning left from when we made the beef. So let's go ahead and get them in there, and we're supposed to drop them in there, well not drop, but neatly place them in the pan. I wonder if I can get all 6 in here. We are certainly gonna try, because they do in the picture. You know, I got them in there, all 6 at the same time. I was gonna burn myself, because I caught myself sitting that one down in there like that. What an idiot. Burn myself. But we got them going. We're supposed to do them 2 to 3 minutes on one side, and then we gently flip them over. So let's give them a little second to get all nice and brown, and then we'll get those flipped. There, doesn't that look delicious? I'm gonna let these sit for maybe 1 more minute, and then we actually leave them in the pan and we set them to the side so they will continue to cook with the heat that's already in the pan. So I'm gonna wait for one of these to turn brown on the other side. Not yet. And then we will get them out the pot and ready for plating. But first, let's go ahead and make our sauce. I went ahead and took mine out of the pan because I may or may not have started to burn them. Just like a little bit. It's not bad. It looks bad on camera, but it's really not that bad. Chris is gonna make fun of me, y'all. Okay, so the sauce is literally guacamole and adobo daisy. Mix those 2 together, and that's the sauce for this. Easy enough. Let's get it. So I got them both in there, gave it a quick mix, and we have our sauce. So there are our flautas, there's our sauce. We made this meal. We might have burned it just a little bit, but we made this meal. We're gonna put the burn side down and let him make fun of me later. Okay, so I'm not a fan of sauces, so I'm gonna try this without the sauce and see what happens. Home Chef has done it again. Now, I don't know if I told y'all, But this is the third meal that came in my kit. I only ordered the 3-meal kit. So this is the final meal from Home Chef for this week that I'll be cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and order for next week because I think we like this. It's easy enough, I can get it done regardless of how the day goes. So I recommend it. I'm gonna continue cooking with it and I hope you follow along. Y'all have a good evening.